This is the 21st season of Bass Talk Live. BTL is presented by Bass Cat Boats, Strike King Lures, AFTCO, Pro Guide Batteries, Spro, Gamakatsu, The Bass Tank, Denali Rods, Beatdown Outdoors, and Sunline.
BTL coming at you.
Good evening and welcome to a bonus edition of BTL Bass Talk Live. We're going to talk about bass fishing, evening edition, and sitting across from me. We spent a lot of Thursday nights together, Austin. Usually it's about 8 miles down the road here at Shawnee Twin Lakes for the jackpots. But tonight we have Bassmaster Elite Series rookie Austin Cranford in studio, fresh off of a top 10 finish at the final EQ of the 2025 season down on Okeechobee. And it was funny, right before we were going live, Austin, you were like reading the title and you go, Elite Series rookie. First time I've seen that.
That's the first time I've heard that. And boy, I've been waiting to see that. My God, it took me a long time to do it, but finally got it done. And that's crazy, man.
All right, we're going to walk through it because I kind of have a behind-the-scenes look of how it went down. And, I mean, kind of the first time that we met was at a Bass Nation regional. Mm-hmm. Had we met before that?
Not really. Yeah, no, I don't think so. That's the first time we actually probably sat down and talked. And,
yeah, because at the time I was like, okay, like I knew you were younger, and I knew that you got about 2 dips per can.
Yeah. And
that you had a hell of a mullet.
Yeah. Dang right. Yeah.
That was about it.
Yep, that's about it. I used to actually that was at a Bass Nation event at Toledo Bend, and I think if I remember right, I was leading the tournament after day 1, and I blanked on day 2, and I think you broke down.
I was in the top 20 after day 1.
Yep.
And then I blew my lower unit up on day 2.
Yep.
And also zeroed. And I looked at you and said, do you want to get the hell out of here? And you were like, could not. Yes, I do. And we were headed to Neely Henry for the Open.
And
we stopped at a Mexican joint, got a margarita and some flautas or something, and then drove down.
And then headed. And funny story, that tournament at Neely Henry was my very first Bassmaster Open check that I ever made.
Really?
Yep. It's the very first time. Yep. I remember I caught him on a frog and flipping laydowns in back of the creek. And boy, how things have changed.
Interesting. I've spent a lot of time in the boat with you and basically talked to you every single day, but I don't even know how you got like started in this. Let's just start at the beginning. I mean, you're a new Elite Series guy. You're coming in. We'll kind of talk about the other 9 guys that are there, but like, let's start from the beginning.
Well, so to start at the beginning, we kind of have to start at how it all started, and everybody's kind of got their story of the people that kind of gave them that edge to make the jump. And how it all started was as I was actually in college playing baseball, and I had this coach that I was at practice when I had to be, but all my other free time I spent fishing. And I remember him getting after me one night in the classroom, and all the team, the whole was in there. He said, Cranford, he's like, what are you going to do if you don't play baseball? Fish? And ever since then, I was like, you know what? I am going to fish.
Like he said it like as a screw you type of way, not like a positive.
No, not positive. No. And he said, what are you going to do? Fish? And that season ended, and I had decided that, you know what, I'm going to go to work and I'm going to kind of set myself up to where I can fish because, I mean, there's not anything, any kind of activity that I enjoy in the world more than fishing. And so I bought my very first bass boat. That's the very first loan I've ever gotten. I was, driving a 1996 F-150. And my first bass boat was a 190 Pro Craft I bought for $10,000.
How'd you find it?
I bought it from Nichols Marine.
Oh, yeah?
Jordan over there in Norman. And I went over
Jordan's
there.
Jordan's a little boat mogul over there. I actually fished with him at OU back in the day in 2000. How old were you in 2007?
I graduated high school in 2014, so you can do the math.
Okay, yeah. So I fished with Jordan for a year in 2007 at OU, and then he decided to go become a multimillionaire in the boat selling business, following his dad Gary there. They're still over there off of Highway 9 in Norman, and then I think they also have one up in Tulsa and one down in Texas.
Yeah. I bought my very first boat off of him and just started kind of fishing and got into the tournament scene, fishing Conowall jackpots, local around here, and then eventually made it to the Bass Nation. And
you didn't make it; you just decided.
I didn't make it. Yeah, but just decided to fish the Bass Nation.
At this point, did you have anybody that was like, "Hey, here's how to fish. Here's how to do tournaments. Here's how to launch the boat, run the boat, take care of stuff."
No,
tournament fish.
So locally they call me Pig, and
I see it right here. Did you see that? Zach Holt said the Pig.
Yeah, so they call me the Pig. That's because all growing up fishing, I would tear stuff up because nobody ever taught me how to do any of this. I kind of just taught myself as I went. Same thing with fishing. There's a few old guys that I get in a boat with, but for the most part, I was kind of just learning on my own. And so I tear every boat I ever owned up, and I jumped into the Bass Nation. And the very first Bass Nation tournament we fished, I ended up getting lucky and winning, flipping bushes at Lake Sardis. And that kind of got.
That was your first one?
That's my very first
Bass
Bass
Nation. That was the one where I had one bass that day, and it was an 8.3.
Yep. Yeah, I remember. I caught 22.87. I remember that weight.
Really?
Caught back-to-back 7-pounders out of
it
bushes.
Was flooded. It was muddy instead of like that weird aqua color that it usually is.
It was muddy, and it was tough, and it ended up working out, and I won that tournament, and it was win your in to go to the Bass Nation Regional that year, and that's how I made it at Toledo Bend. And I guess I had been selling roofs, so I'd made a little bit of money to pay myself into the one division of the Bassmaster Opens, and my first open was at the Arkansas River the same year that I fished the Nation. And
so would that have been the same? That would have been 2020?
Yeah.
Because I jumped in Arkansas in 2020.
So that was okay. So that would have been the following year.
Yeah,
so I think
21.
we qualified for that Nation in 2019, and then that regional was in 2020.
Yeah,
I believe that's how it was. Yeah. So that was my first year fishing the Opens. Then go to Neely Henry, cash my first check with you, and I've been fishing the Opens ever since, and we've kind of been grinding out there together. We've kind of gotten closer.
2020.
2020.
You finished 45th, which would have been a check.
Nope.
No.
They paid 40 back then.
I know. It would have been a check.
Would have been a check. Yeah, would have been a check. I can remember every single bass I caught at that
Damn,
river.
You caught them good early on
I bombed Rayburn.
In your career. 45th, 96th, and you had that central 30th, 32nd, 12th, 27th.
Yeah.
You went a lot of tournaments before.
Yeah, it was, and it was crazy was it was all doing the same thing. Like one technique. It was literally flipping wood. That's what it was.
Really?
Every single tournament. That's what I would go do. I would just go try and figure out a way to catch them flipping wood. And the one at Rayburn where I finished 90th was they caught him out of brush piles. And that's the year that Scott Martin qualified. And I flipped grass instead of fishing brush piles. And after doing the math, if I would have just got a check that tournament, I think I might have been in the elites. The way the format was. And, there's a couple years in there.
Are you glad you didn't?
Oh, absolutely. Because I don't think that back then, especially nowadays, I don't think that I could have sustained the Elite Series, and I was definitely not ready. There was a couple years to where, one tournament goes the right way, I end up in the Elites. But I think that, everybody has their time. And when it's your time, there's nothing you can do to stop it. And we'll get into it, but there was some stuff that happened this year that it was no doubt my time.
Yeah. One of the things that I've never asked you directly about it, but I think I've kind of heard around it. So you have, I'll just say it. I don't even know if you know this. You have a top 5 non-endemic sponsor out of every single person that fishes the Opens.
Yeah.
You have a badass sponsor.
Yeah. Yeah. And to be honest, it came from, selling roofs, and building the relationships that I do through that. And I ended up meeting these people. They're great people. And it was kind of one of those deals where it was my first time to ever go to a company with a with this idea. And, you know, most of these big companies, non-endemic companies, have no idea about bass fishing. And it really doesn't come down to how good you are at catching fish or anything. It just comes down to how you know, good a relationship that you can build, how good of a person that you can be. And work ethic goes a long ways and people recognize this stuff. And it ended up turning into this whole deal where without U.S. fleet tracking, I would not be in this position, because the opens are expensive, and they took a gamble on me. And I run a few trade shows for me. I've run the U.S. Fleet Tracking Wrap. If you don't know what U.S. Fleet Tracking is, it's a GPS tracking company that they sell trackers you put in a boat, truck, RV, whatever you want to put it in. A lot of our storm trackers here in Oklahoma, when they're chasing tornadoes, you'll look in the right-hand corner, it says U.S. Fleet Tracking. And the tracking system that you're seeing all those storm trackers is a U.S. Fleet Tracking system. And so a lot of concrete trucks, police departments, everybody runs it. And so that's kind of what they do. And for 5 years, they've been my title sponsor. And without them, I wouldn't be here. And sometimes I think it takes the right people or a company to make that dream really happen.
So they do that like civilian and business.
And business, yeah.
Not
and
civilian, personal, whatever it is. Like if you wanted to.
Yeah. So if you know, say in your boat, if you want to put a tracker in your boat, like I have one in mine,
or on your truck or something.
Yeah.
In case
if you're staying at a hotel that's really rough, you can actually put a geofence around your boat. And if it leaves that geofence, it sends you an alert to your phone and lets you know that boat has moved. They've got OBD devices, hardwire devices on there.
You got it pulled up. That's right, correct, isn't it?
Yep, that's it. And, you know, pick your device for what type of vehicle or even a skid steer. They track trailers too as well. So pretty much anything you want to track, they do it. They're the first person to ever do live tracking. It's actually live. Everybody else has, 30-second minute delays. This one is actually live. So it's been some times at some trade shows, so I know the ins and outs of this thing.
I like it. So I'd heard basically, were you putting a roof on or something and you were talking with some guy? This is just what I have in my head. Tell me how accurate this is. And you were like younger, and the guy was like, what do you? And you said, well, I want to fish. And he's like, what do you want to fish? And you're like, the Bassmaster Opens, but it's too expensive, or the Elite Series. And then he was like, well, put something together and we'll see if we can make this work.
No,
like
that's
how did that like come? How did this come about?
How it happened is that I got hooked up with one of the employees of the company, and I ended up kind of just going through the company and doing everybody's roof, and I ended up doing the owner's roof. Okay. And kind of what I do is I work for McCrae Roofing. We do a lot of high-end residential roofing, do a lot of copper, a lot of tile and stuff like that. And
actually, a little bit of McCrae Roofing on
a little McCrae Roofing on this roof.
BTL studio roof.
Had a little bit of leak. Sent the guys over here to take care of it. But I just try to take care of their roofs, and I try to make them look as good as I can. And I've got a copper problem when it comes to roofs. Like at any expense, I'll put as much copper as I can on a house. And so I guess they appreciated that. And I came to them and I said, hey, guys, I've got something crazy for you. I know we've known each other for a year or two, and I've done 6 or 7 roofs for them. And I came to them with this pitch, and we sat down at a Charleston's in Edmond, Oklahoma, and I kind of went through the whole thing. They got together with the owner, and believe it or not, they said, all right, guys, let's do it.
Dude, Charleston's was a nice touch.
Charleston's, that's my favorite restaurant. Cheyenne and I, that's our Friday night.
Dude, I had one of the guys I played hockey at OU with, Boomer Sooner. Apparently OSU is now a hockey school. I don't know if you're on that. I think Mike
Gundy might be a little salty about that. There was a little something else in there.
But one of the guys I played hockey at OU with worked at Charleston's in Norman, and he was one of the bartenders there, and I would always go in and get like the appetizers and all that stuff, and he would hook me up with it, get a nice cold beer in there, like Charleston's if you're in Oklahoma.
Hawaiian ribeye is all I have to say.
Really?
Hawaiian ribeye.
I feel like that's risky to take a good cut of meat and then add sweetness to it.
There is zero risk. Is
there a pineapple on top?
Nope. It's literally just a Hawaiian ribeye. You wouldn't know it's pineapple. It's got I'm telling you, you would not regret it. It's before I went to Lake Okeechobee, it was the best ribeye I've ever had.
And then what happened to Okeechobee?
Oh my gosh!
We'll tell a meat story right in the middle.
There is on the north side of Lake Okeechobee. I can't remember. There's a seafood restaurant on the north side of Okeechobee. I forget what.
Help us out if you're listening to this.
Help us out if you're listening. If you've been into Lake Okeechobee, you go in there and there's a bunch of gators and live bands and everything. I went in there. They had this aged ribeye.
Yeah.
Oh my God! It comes out on this wood flat
plank. Did they slice it already pre-sliced?
No, it's not pre-sliced.
Oh, it's really not.
It's really not.
Okay.
But when you get it, it just has a different type of texture and it has this taste. And it was
Lightseas.
That's
really?
it. Who said somebody?
I'm telling you, dude. You don't want to test the BTL listeners.
Lightseas. The ribeye there is unbelievable. But what I learned is that those are aged ribeyes. And whenever you have a Bassmaster Open in town, a lot of ribeyes get eaten. So you want to get them at the beginning of the week because then they're no longer aged. So the first one I had was incredible. The second one was great, but the first one was the best.
Okay. I'll have to see what the secret is there.
The place is incredible. Really good environment. I'm really good about atmosphere when I go to restaurants. Big restaurant guy.
Yeah. All right. So this was like 4 or 5 years ago with U.S. Fleet Tracking.
Yep, U.S. Fleet Tracking.
How have you been able to maintain a non-endemic?
So it hails in Oklahoma a lot. So they give me a lot of phone calls, and we do talk. And at the beginning of the year, we go to trade shows. And I think that a lot of it has to do when people get along and, it's business in the beginning. But whenever you actually take the time to develop the relationship and you become friends with these people,
mm-hmm.
And you talk to them on a daily basis, it's not super hard to keep these non-endemic sponsors because it's all about the relationship, and all you can do is work as hard as you possibly can to do what you can for these people. And it seems like it works out if they see the effort. And they see that you're working hard, it continues. And that's just what I've had in my experience. And, just finding the right people. I guess you could say I kind of got lucky, which, obviously there's a little bit of luck there, but you got to be in the game to get lucky. So,
yeah. And you've worked with a couple of other companies, the rods with the white handles that you're all about.
Yeah. F5 rods. F5 rods. Yep, Brad, F5 rods, man, that guy right there, and that's another one. Building a relationship, we've become really good friends, and I ended up jumping on with him just because of his product. I put him in my hand, and you can tell whenever you put a good rod in your hand. And that guy right there, we built a relationship. We're really good buddies now, and I'll be with him again next year. So, I guess you kind of painted the picture. Like, we're not talking about like it's not like you kind of walked into this and had a backup plan and you kind of figured it out on your own. You started out with your boat on this. Like, I mean, you spent your money that you earned in roofing to make the Elite Series. I mean, really did. Like, in the beginning, for sure, it was all 100% me. Well,
I just meant as far as like there was no.
Oh no,
you don't have a safety net.
No, I don't have a safety net.
You're your safety net.
I'm the safety net. Yeah, I mean, there was always no really plan B, and doing something for the rest of my life. The only thing that I could see myself doing as an actual job is bass fishing. I mean, I wake up in the morning and that's all I think about. And to be honest,
that's 100% true.
Yeah,
vouch for that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be sitting in a tree stand, and that's another thing I love to do. I'll get to do it for 1 month, and I'll be thinking about bass fishing. I mean, it's literally, it consumes me, and I love it so much. And it's just every bite. I don't care how you catch them or what the bite is. It's just the next bite. Every bite's the same. Like, I mean, it never gets old. I love it so much.
All right, we're gonna take our first break of the night. When we come back, we'll kind of dive more into this year, into making the actual Bassmaster Elite Series, and what your plans are in 2026. Love what Bassmaster did with the format this year. I actually thought that they did a great job with the two divisions, with being able to fish for someone who's in a position like me, does 200 plus shows a year, newly married, A lot of different irons in the fire, fishing the 4, but not just having 4, 8 good days. And then all of a sudden you're on the Elite Series is good. I like the 4, then the 3 with the 2 divisions. You have to zero it. Anyway, it was a gauntlet. And you came through a division that, I can say it, total shit show this year.
Oh, oh my gosh.
2 one-day tournaments, a 2-day tournament, 1 3-day tournament.
Dodging bullets.
Horrible weather, all sorts of stuff. And we're going to talk about that and then what your plans are for 2026. So it's BTL at night with Austin Cranford, Bassmaster Elite Series 2026 rookie. We will be back right after this.
In 2023, we became a household name in the crappie fishing world thanks to Power Breaks, the game changer. Hey, bass fishing world, buckle up, because you're next. It's going to be fun. Welcome to the next evolution of our product line, Power Breaks Sidekick, designed to install right on your shallow water acres. We are the first and only fishing brake company to offer a breakaway system. Just like with the Game Changer, the Power Breaks Sidekick has it as well. And it's not a matter of if you're going to need it, it's when. Power Breaks, the most durable fishing brakes available on the market today. Made right here in the USA with our rock-solid 2-year warranty. Hey, not all fishing brakes are built equally, and you owe it to yourself to find out why ours are different. Power Breaks Sidekick. Order yours today at mypowerbrakes.com. You'll be glad you did.
Pro Bass Adventures is reinventing Mexico bass fishing. With boats equipped with 12-inch Garmin units and LiveScope Plus, free loaner fishing rods, and no-cost airport transportation, Pro Bass Adventures is proudly putting you in the best position for success. Pro Bass Adventures has lodges on Lake Baccarat and Lake El Salto, Mexico's 2 best trophy largemouth bass lakes. Visit probassadventures.com or email probassadventures@gmail.com. The official Mexico fishing lodge of Bass Talk Live.
Before there were hashtags, there were handshakes and shared stories. They gave us confidence to make our first cast, and chase our dreams. They taught us to fish, and in the process, taught us about life. They taught us that success isn't just about reaching the top. It's about lifting others up. The future isn't just about selling tackle. It's about 3 simple words. Let's go fishing. Here's to the original influencers.
As a professional angler, there's only one thing that connects you to your paycheck. Probably the most crucial part to tournament bass fishing. I use Sunline because they have a line for every application. Shooter, FX2, All Might, super light line, big stuff, big sticks. Sunline has you covered.
Sharp as can be. Super strong, super durable.
Really good penetration.
Thinner and stronger.
Catch fish after fish.
I want to make sure that I'm using the best stuff possible.
World's finest hook. World's finest hook.
Gamakatsu, world's finest hook.
All right, welcome back, BTL on a Wednesday night. See, I got up and then I bumped the camera and now Austin's not out. So I'm going to have the producer go over and fix it.
Almost. Aren't you professional?
I'm totally professional, but I told you, I said don't bump that camera, and then I get up and I catch it in the new Signature Series BTL and hoodie. Anyway. Yeah, no, that's a cool insight. That's kind of a cool, it is a cool story of how you did it. And I saw it. The other thing that you did that I don't think a lot of people understand is that Oklahoma it's not considered a diverse state when it comes to fishing.
All right, so I have a theory about Oklahoma as a whole.
Okay, hit us with it.
So here's the deal. Because we are so close to Texas, all right, the Oklahoma Wildlife Department doesn't get the credit that it actually deserves. All right, so
okay.
we actually do have some really good lakes, and they are somewhat diverse. And so we have the fish to get the bites, and they are all a little bit different. They all have water willow around them, right? So that's our grass. That's all we got in Oklahoma, right? And so every lake,
there's like 2 hydrilla lakes.
2 hydrilla lakes. That's we're limited on hydrilla lakes. But as far as how fish set up and how they bite, we do have the lakes. And before I go to a tournament, I definitely go to lakes to where they are set up the way that I expect them to be at the next lake. So we do have the resources to make it happen.
So I'll say this. So before Champlain, you went to lakes that you knew there were fish under bait.
Yep, that's exactly what I did.
Before Wheeler, you went to lakes that you knew had fish on structure.
Structure, yes.
And before Florida, you went to lakes that you...
I did both. I did both because I didn't know what I was going to be doing.
And you went to, did you have to Kanawha that had some, there's like 3 lakes that have like lily pads and reeds and stuff
so
on it too.
Kanawha was one of them. I'll talk about the lakes that I can talk about.
No, I mean, I got a book out there with 150 lakes and they're from
Kanawha was one of them.
200 to 2,500 acres.
Yeah, Kanawha was one of them. I think that is the only lake that I can actually talk about.
Yeah, no, I don't expect you to. That's why I said it. I'm not going to blow anything out.
There were some other lakes. Okeechobee was kind of different because I didn't really know what I was going to be doing there. Wheeler was easy because I had been there before and I kind of had an idea how I was going to catch them. A lot of times they get on structure and you can usually catch them on the baits.
You top 10 the last time you were there?
Yeah. Last time I was there, top 10. Different time of year. Golly. Yeah. That Tennessee shad spawned something else. But so pretty much you can go to a lake that you plan on going to and you can fish around here and kind of get, adjusted to how you think you're going to be fishing for that week. And so,
but that's what I said. Like, you're like, well, how does a guy who's been doing this for 5 or 6 years go make the Elite Series? Dude, you're on the water 4 or 5 days a week on 3 or 4 different bodies of water. You literally can't with these lakes sit there and beat them up. Because they get toasted after a day or two. Like, how many times have I called you? Been like, you've been out to blah 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 lately, and I'm like, yeah, I can tell because they're petrified.
So you got to be really careful,
right? But it's like the perfect learning ground because it's like a microcosm of what you're fishing. And I've never seen anybody that's been able to do it like you did, where you took these lakes and instead of just hosing them on it or having fun, you use them as a training ground.
Yeah, absolutely. And the size of them, we have a ton, I don't know how many there are, 150, 200, how many acres?
I'd say 250 to 2,000 acre lakes.
Yeah,
I'd say the average lake is 1,000 acres,
and so
800 to 1,500 acres.
When you figure these lakes out, they're smaller, so breaking them down, you can figure them out a lot quicker. And as long as you don't show up every day when you find a lake that's going off and just hammer them every single time, you can use that lake in the future. And I rotate between about 25 different lakes, and I found the best 25 lakes that have a variety of ways to catch them, and I kind of use those lakes throughout the year to get better.
The wild thing to me, though, is it seems like the stuff that they get conditioned to on the smaller lakes in Oklahoma, when you take that to a bigger lake, you're like, oh, it's the same here.
Yeah.
Like, drop shot's a perfect example of that.
Absolutely.
Like 4 or 5 years ago,
yeah,
every fish that was within 20 feet of a drop shot would eat it.
Absolutely.
Now it's like maybe 1 out of 10 that you put it directly on their head.
And it's the same thing with the jerkbait.
And it's the same thing on the bigger lakes and on the tournament fisheries that we
when
go
you
to.
show up to these places. So you basically have to figure out something new every year because the fish have been conditioned to a certain bait or technique every year. And then it seems like it's that way around the entire country too. I'm hoping it'll cycle.
Yeah, I'm hoping that too. All right, let's talk about this year. Incredible year. I'm just going to read off your finishes. It's going to be 4 Bassmaster Opens and then the 3 EQs. And remember, those Opens were 230 boats, and then the EQ started out at like 110, and it was 75. So 55th, 18th, 33rd, 63rd, 20th, 26th, 23rd, and 4th out of the entire season.
63rd was a nation.
Yeah, it was.
Yep.
On the nation. So 55th, 18th, 33rd, 20th, 26th, 23rd, and 4th. So out of the entire time that you launch your boat in the Opens and the EQs this year, the only time that you did not cash a check was in the very first one of the year, and that was at Sam Rayburn, which was a one-day tournament, and you missed a check by 11 ounces.
Yeah.
I hate when that door opens like that. I've got that hat rack hanging on the bag. Yes, you saw you look over there too. Like I've been in here before, like working on stuff, and it opens, and I'm like, oh boy.
Yeah. Yeah. No kidding.
But yeah, no, that's a lot of consistency across the entire country from February through November.
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of those lakes are a lot different. And that Sam Rayburn one does not, I think it got you too. It is a one-day derby, and that lake, I feel like you need 2 days to really show what you found in practice. And so that one was kind of like, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the only one I missed this year. And then you could say the same thing about the Norfolk one. I got paid in that one. It's a one-day derby, and that could have went the other way too. And so this year, the format has kind of put us in, it kind of put me in the right mindset is what it did. So the first 4, you're thinking all I got to do is do the top 50.
Yep.
I'm just going to try and win everything. And then I kind of figured out that, all right, this is a pretty good mindset. And so I kind of took that into the EQs.
You also, it kind of drove me nuts. You'd be like, I'm catching up. Like, I've never been around someone who was not just saying it. You knew that you were going to catch him this year. I don't know how else to say it.
Yeah.
Like, I spent a lot of time around a lot of guys who can catch fish, Austin, and I had told people, and they, when you were kind of making your run and your head, and they're like, what do you think about that? And I was like, well, he's going to make it because he doesn't think that there's a way he does it. Mm-hmm. And like, just talk about how you kind of, I wouldn't call it cockiness.
Yeah.
But it was like, was it really the baby pattern thing that everybody talks about? Do you think that had something to do with it, or what was it? Because I mean, you haven't had that. I've heard you say in previous years, I hope I don't screw this one up.
Yeah.
I never heard you say that this year. And that was the first year that I've never heard you say, I'm scared of this one or that one, or I hope I get through this one.
So the baby pattern, I kind of have a theory about the baby pattern.
All right, hit me with it. Because you have a young daughter.
I have a 4-month-old daughter that we just had with my wife, Cheyenne.
Yeah. Very active.
Yes, very active. And so we had our baby, and you're kind of like, a lot of people say your life is going to change. Mm-hmm. And it does. So kind of in my mind is like, all right, I just had a baby. Our life is about to change. Now I have another mouth to feed, and now there's 3 of us, not just 2. So I'm kind of like in my mind, like I have to make this happen because, whenever people have babies, their lives change, their time goes away and everything. So I'm kind of like, I need to get this done quick. So I kind of kicked it into hyperdrive. And this year it wasn't like, I hope I make it. It's like the mindset changed. And I think that you have to bring out, I kind of bottled that coming out of baseball. I kind of bottled that, the cockiness. I kind of put that away. And this year I kind of had to bring it back, because you kind of got to have that competitive edge to think that, you can do this and think that you can beat people. And that kind of brought it out of me that it was like, I'm doing this year because I don't know what's going to happen, and I'm going to get this done. And so it kind of just brought out this confidence in me. And that was the difference. Like, just knowing that you can compete, you can beat these guys, and you feel like you should win every tournament. Mm-hmm. That was the mindset that changed, and that is why I qualified for the elites.
Contrary to how many times Ronnie Moore says it on live, we do not room together.
No, we don't room together. I don't know where he gets on this. The road. Yeah, every time.
And we share general information in opens. I typically, where I'm fishing, I know where you're fishing, but when it comes down to what's making them bite, we don't share that stuff.
Yeah.
You worked really closely with Matt Adams this year, who had in the last couple years, and I've gotten to know Matt kind of because of getting to know you, and or because You guys were buddies. You guys pretty much share everything from what I understand.
I'll say so the past 2 years I've worked with Matt, and so whenever you're going through the gauntlet or whatever they call it, I try to do it by myself for 3 years, and had good events, bad events. But when you meet somebody that you can really trust, I'm talking about Matt Adams. If you ever meet Matt Adams, he's literally one of the best dudes I've ever met. I mean, I don't trust anybody with literally specific spots that I'm fishing, and I trust him with Matt. And basically, we would be fine throughout the year, and then there'd be one tournament where one of us would struggle.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I got your back. And then we'd go, another tournament, be fine. And then the next one, the other one would struggle. And it's like, I got your back. And getting through the opens, that's basically what we did. And working together with a guy like that. But you can't just work with anybody. And it really, really sucks that Matt, we were 1 point away going into Lake Okeechobee.
Mm-hmm.
And it really sucks that he didn't make it. He deserves to make it. He's a great dude. He's a great fisherman. And I think that one day he's meant to do this, and we'll end up with each other on the Elite Series.
Yeah, I think this might be for Matt Adams, it might be like a Gronk scenario.
I know,
or
right?
maybe he might have retired a little prematurely, and he'll come back for a year or two before he actually.
Yeah,
I mean, listen to his finishes starting in 2024: 58th, 7th, 68th, 19th, 25th, 6th, 15th, 17th, 47th, 2nd, and 49th. And that's outside of those last three, the 47th, 2nd, and 49th, those are 250 boat fields, folks.
Yeah.
230 boat fields.
Dude's unreal, and as far as shallow water goes, there ain't a bad.
But also
safe.
different point of his life. He's my age.
Yeah.
He's, I think, 41,
Yeah,
42.
he's 41. Yeah. And he'll be back.
Has his own businesses, does stuff in it. So, but no, it seemed to me also, like that was like Matt played a big role in you maintaining your composure.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying that you made it because of him, but in you maintaining your composure. I know, like in the 4 that we talked to, you'd be like, I've got this, but I remember especially at like Wheeler.
Mm-hmm. That was a big one.
Yeah, that was a big one.
Yeah, that was a big one. And Wheeler was kind of I think that was the tournament that was the make or break tournament of the year. Mm-hmm. If you caught him at Wheeler, you either caught him or you didn't. And that tournament, I caught like 12 pounds day one. And Matt was leading the tournament. And we knew Matt was probably going to win the tournament because he's a local there. He knew.
He's from Gunnersville.
He's from Gunnersville, yeah. Mm-hmm. And so we knew he was probably going to win the tournament, if not top 5 it. And I kind of went and did my own thing because, I had, almost won the tournament last time we were there. And so I kind of stayed in that general area. And day 2, he was like, hey, like, you can come up here if you would like to. And I didn't fish any of his stuff, but we'd kind of showed each other's areas. And he was like, if you want to come up here and fish, like there's that stuff a little bit down the river if you want to fish it. And I ended up, that trust is a big thing.
And I know the year before that he almost made that on Eufaula in Oklahoma. He rolled up to a spot that you kind of hooked him up with and dropped an 18 rack in like 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was a boat draw deal. Yeah. Is what happened there. There's been a lot of things. Champlain. Well, I tell you what happened a lot this year, and it happened at Okeechobee too, is that those derbies that we ended up scoping, I would kind of figure out the deal, right? And he would find the area.
Yeah, which is weird because he qualified. Just for those who don't know, you qualified through Division 2, didn't fish Division 1. He qualified through Division 1, didn't fish Division 2. So you didn't talk about anything in the opens, but then you shared everything in the EQs. And then the previous year you fished the same schedules.
Yeah.
And
he made it to the last derb, and then I made it to the Mississippi River before getting out of it. So, Matt's a big part of it's kind of that safety net,
Dude, I haven't ever looked at his stats. So he's only started fishing the opens in 24.
Yep.
So this is 2 years. He has never cratered one. Like he's never had a bad derb. His lowest derb ever is 103, and that was on St. Clair. And the St. Clair one, like
he had 38 pounds.
He had 36.8 and finished 103rd. I mean, That's literally one bite from 30th place.
I know.
Like
Yeah.
that's not a bad tournament at all. Like
No.
his next closest to that is a 68th on Lake Martin,
which is
tricky.
Yeah, that's another one by Lake, you know.
He had a 74. Yeah, Logan Martin, St. Clair, and Lake Martin.
And that's why I people ask me as soon as Okeechobee was over, hey, what is Matt going to do next year? I was like, don't listen to anything he says now. Like,
unfortunately, he said a lot now.
I know. Well, Matt wears his emotions on his sleeve, and he's going to let you know what he thinks. But I've been telling everybody, I'm not saying nothing to Matt until like a month from now.
So I called him after Okeechobee, and I was just like, hey, I know typically after something catastrophic happens with your season, your phone doesn't ring. I said, because I've experienced that 3 times so far, and I'm like, it is a lonely drive home. So like, if you don't want to talk, like, just tell me to F off. I'm completely understand. And then we ended up talking for like 45 minutes, but I felt bad. That was such a wild thing. Like, he was well inside the elites, and then
after day one, we were 4th and 5th in the points.
He said that Matt dude was pissed.
Yeah. if you got to know Matt, it wouldn't. I mean, it's normal, you know.
Yeah.
So, but he'll be back.
Anyway, the whole point of bringing him up was seemed like a great partnership, and I would assume if things had gone different on day 2, y'all would have been rooming together.
Oh yeah.
For the elite. Speaking of which, like, what's the Elite Series game plan? It's crazy to me that it's November 20th. The season kicks off the beginning of February.
Yeah.
And it's like boat, truck wrap, sponsorships, money, travel, everything. And oh, by the way, let's get through Thanksgiving, first Thanksgiving as a dad. Let's get through the first Christmas as a dad.
Yeah.
And then we're off and running. So really, you've got like 6 actual weeks to get
absolutely
the Elite Series ready to go.
And if I told you I had it all figured out, I'd be lying. But I got 2 months to get this all going. And the thing that I got going for me is I fished 5 years in the Open. So getting ready for a season, I've done it before. I just got to do it a little bit quicker and a little bit bigger stage. We're going to do the camper deal next year, my wife and I.
Really?
Collins. Yep. Going to do the camper deal.
Have you ever done the camper deal?
Never done the camper deal. So if anybody's got any tips.
Are you a little bit more, do you have a little bit more finesse than the boat deal when you first started? Or is it just going to be strap her down and learn as you go?
I probably watch more YouTube videos. I'm probably going to not try and tear this thing up. If anybody knows anything about campers, let me know. Or owns a camper place, I'd love to hear you out. You know, let's go. Let's try to.
So you'll be traveling. Well, is Cheyenne going back teaching?
No. She's full-time Austin Cranford fishing.
Okay.
And Cranford Sales Consulting, my roofing deal. So she's all in, and we're for 9
congratulations
9
on that. That's cool.
Thank you. Yeah. So she stay-at-home mom now, and I guess that's every girl.
So you're traveling with you?
Yep, me, her, and then our baby, and then we have 2 dogs as well. So,
and they're going too.
And my cameraman Mason. If anybody's watched any of my YouTube channel, you've seen my YouTube videos have gotten significantly better, and that is because of Mason. And so he's going to be potentially driving the other truck.
Oh my God.
So we're going to have a whole.
This is going to be wild.
It's going to be wild, but we're going to do it.
You got to learn how to keep a cleaner truck, Austin.
I know. It's pretty bad.
He'll come by and pick me up for the Thursday nighters, and I don't think my shoes or flip-flops have ever touched the actual floor of your passenger seat.
No, sometimes he's got to get in the back, you know.
It's not like dirty. It's just there's stuff.
Yeah, there's just stuff.
It's a very clean truck. It's just full of stuff.
Yeah, it's full of stuff, and there's fishing rods and everything else, and it's a problem.
So are you going to film the process or just the on the water stuff? Like Frank Scalish Jr. goes, bro, you got to film all that. This sounds hilarious.
I haven't even thought about that. I mean, we're there. We might as well. And he's going to have the camera rolling. I don't know what kind of format we're going to do, but it's going to be very, very interesting. And I seriously think that I have the best cameraman in the biz. I mean, this guy is unbelievable.
He can tie a good jig, too.
He can tie a good jig. Yeah, he can. And I like
Does
Mason.
he shoot for anyone else on the Elite Series?
Nope. Nope, just me. He actually films for the Outdoor Channel.
Okay. So he got a little promoted too there now. He
got a little promotion. I told him, I said, hey, if I make the Elite Series, you're gonna get a raise. So I'm trying to get him nailed down for the season. And I'm even gonna type him up a little contract so that way we can.
I got a stack of contracts over there. I'd highly recommend contracts.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to get him on a contract because I want to make sure this, the way that I want to do this, I want to make sure that it happens. So we'll make it happen. Yeah.
Speaking of contracts and sponsorship wise, have you talked with anybody? Like, is US Fleet on for the Elite Series?
Yeah. So for the most part, everybody is on, and I've, a lot of people say when you make the Elite Series, the sponsors don't just come knocking on your door. But I feel like that I've been around Oklahoma fishing long enough that it's actually opened up a big opportunity, and I have had some people reach out. And so nothing's been finalized. Some conversations have been had, but I feel like that my, maneuvering through the sponsorship world has been pretty good. As far as, the week that it's been since I qualified for the Elites. I really can't complain. It seems like it's navigable, and that it's not. I mean, the Elite Series is a pretty good platform, so it seems.
And it's plus, out. I think it's only a $10,000 entry fee total now. $1,000, like a little over $1,000 for each tournament.
Yeah, so it used to be $50,000.
Yeah,
Now.
Do you and if you don't understand how this stuff works, I should have clarified this before we went live. Do you have a vessel and a motor buttoned up, or do you want to just kind of stay quiet on that for now?
I have nothing is final yet.
Okay.
So I have been working with a vessel and a motor company, and nothing's final yet. So I won't.
Can we tease it? Can we say that it's familiar?
It is familiar.
Okay.
Yeah, it is familiar.
Leave it at that.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that. But I am in the works of a boat and motor deal. So
and you got to get a new truck too.
And I got to get another truck. Yeah, I've got to buy another truck, and I'm kind of.
Oh, you got to get a truck. You got to get a dually.
I got to buy another. I'm going to buy another 3/4 ton.
Well, you got to put a
fifth wheel attachment. Yeah, I mean it's only going to be a 30-foot camper. It's not going to be the big Brandon Polnick 50-footer or whatever it is. So.
Oh, so Cheyenne's going to drive You're going to get. Oh, you have to get a truck to tow the camper with.
Yeah,
you're gonna. Yeah. It's not the truck that's out here.
That's
this
truck's That's the boat hauler. Yeah.
How many miles does that have on it?
I just put 200,000 on it.
Dude, you got to get a 2-for-1 now.
So I'm about to delete that truck, and it's going to go for 500. I'm going to run it into the ground, and then we're going to get that other truck, and that's the one Mason's driving.
So that's the one to tow the camper.
So, I'm getting another 3/4 ton.
Yeah.
That's going to tow the camper,
yeah.
And we're actually might sell my wife's car, and she might drive the new truck. So she just kind of gave that up idea. Like,
is Cheyenne and Courtney are like the same height. You're gonna have to get her a booster seat on that.
I'm gonna get her. Yeah, I mean,
when Court drives the truck,
that truck,
like one of these deals.
Yeah. She's going to be driving around an F-250 with a baby
and 2 dogs. They are not calm either.
Oh yeah, no,
I've seen the heads of your dogs, but that's just when they bust them through the mail door.
Yeah,
in your old garage.
No kidding. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting next year, and I'm looking forward to it. And heck, we haven't even talked about the changes of the rules, or
50-50. You're a power fisherman who's always prided yourself on a power fisherman. You go the shallowest, the dirtiest water with the heaviest string and the biggest bait casters. And then over the last 3 years, you've gotten banned from 90% of the trails in Oklahoma for beating everyone's butt scoping. And now that's exactly how it is.
That's pretty much. I mean, that's what's happened. I mean, I grew up in Oklahoma flipping bushes and running up rivers and doing all that stuff. And then scope came out, and it's like, all right, well, I'm going to learn this. So I'm kind of like a hybrid scoper. And I truly believe until this year, in order to get through the opens, you had to fully commit to the live scope. But I'm really excited in the Elite Series to get back to being able to not worry about. I love scope. Don't get me wrong.
So it doesn't scare you?
No, absolutely not. No, I'm ready to roll. Yeah, I mean, it's the thing I like about it is that whenever you're at Lake Okeechobee and you're out in the lake flipping reeds, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking Robert G is going to be in a canal scoping, catching the most consistent bag possible.
That no one's doing that.
So now that I know nobody can scope, I don't mind being out there in the lake trying to find some fish. So, I think it'll be fun. We'll see. I think that, if I live scoped all year, I would enjoy it just as much. I really don't care how to catch them, but golly, there ain't nothing like catching an 8-pounder on a minnow. Let me tell you.
Will there be anything left in Oklahoma that you can fish? I've heard about this stuff happening. I've never seen it in person to where
there's
guys bitch and moan and the tournament director, like how many, whatever, you put them on blast if you want to, but how many trails have been like, sorry, you can't fish this?
All of them but one.
Do you think that's because you post the videos, or do you think it's because of how you win, or do you think it's a combination of people, you beat them and then you post a video of how you beat them and they know they can't beat you like that?
I think what happens is that once I fish something for a year or so, whatever, I think that they're worried about like the boats falling out because everybody wants to feel like they can win,
Yeah.
But here's the deal. All these lakes that we fish, I fish a lot and I don't leave till I figure them out.
Yeah.
So like, I'm going to figure them out. And a lot of times I'll go to that lake maybe on a Wednesday before a Saturday tournament and I'll go figure it out. And it's really hard.
I've had an open invitation for anybody who wants to defend why, and not just Austin, but why any Opens, Elite Series angler in a jackpot tournament is banned. Now, if it's a tournament trail that has Angler of the Years with qualifying stuff, I could understand a guide, an Elite Series angler, whatever, if you have it. But we're talking about stuff that like you grew up fishing.
Oh, yeah.
You fished for the last 10 years. Guys smoked you when you were younger.
Oh, yeah.
And now they're complaining to the tournament director when you're older. To me, it is the most petty, irrational decision that a tournament director could make to ban you for that. And like I said, I have an open door policy on BTL. If you're one of the people who's called and complained on this, not even just with Austin, but with anybody who doesn't think that these guys should be able to fish weekend tournaments, jackpot tournaments, call and I will give you the floor. And maybe by the end of it, I'd be like, oh yeah, Austin, you should be at home by yourself, not fishing.
And it's been this past 2 years have been bad. Like we, I'll say this just because this is my wife, her spending money is what's in my safe, and that's the cash, right?
Mm-hmm.
We put cash in the safe. Well, if I can't fish the local derbies that pay cash, there ain't no money in the safe. So my wife ain't too happy whenever we can't fish local derbs. So anybody that would allow me to fish a local team trailer or whatever, I would love to fish.
And I will say this, Shawnee Twin, been
Absolutely.
fantastic.
Been
I love
fantastic.
every single one of those guys. Every time we fish them, we stick around to the end. We drink a cold one, and we talk to every single guy that fished it.
Absolutely.
And I really, really enjoy those Thursday nights that we go out there.
They're a lot of fun.
Crush.
And the same thing with Lake Stanley Draper and then the Conoway
Yeah, they're a little bit more. They're not a
tournament-
huge fan of you kicking that butt out.
I know, but
they're chill about it. Like it's not. When I go get I only fish like 2-3 of those this year.
Yeah.
I thought there might have been a 50% chance that you had flat tires a couple times.
Maybe, but
your saving grace is there's a college kid that fishes that trail that
beats me.
Well, he's fished it since he was like 12.
Yeah.
And he beats everyone out there.
Yeah.
So you finish second every tournament.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for him, you might be at the bottom of Stanley Draper.
I know. Hey, I have tried. Okay. Like I have gone out there once a week and went and found the best fish in the lake.
Mm-hmm.
And 6 weeks in a row, I finished second. And I'm like, what is going on? Why can't I win?
And that kid has it dialed in like we've got Shawnee Twin dialed in.
He's got it. Yeah. That's exactly right.
That tournament director is a badass.
Marcus is awesome. Yeah.
Marcus is his name?
Marcus is the tournament director that we fished the Arbuckle tournament on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, let's end with that. Okay. So you kicked off the year with a 43.5-pound sack.
Yeah. It was.
I mean, dude, 2025 has been pretty damn good for you.
It's been pretty dang good. I mean, it's that And you remember I had kind of told you that I had figured something out
Yeah.
at the beginning of the year.
Yep.
All right.
And you figured out by going to all these different lakes and spending daylight to dark on it.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. And they those fish, that was a perfect storm. We've talked about it. And that was an incredible day. I don't know how many I caught over 7 pounds. I think it was like 18 over 7 pounds.
Yeah.
I think it was incredible. But that right there it kicked off the year. It kind of got me going, and then roll into, Rayburn, and then we just start rolling. And that 43-pound bag, it really we got a lot of publicity, and it kind of made me feel good about myself, going out there. And I think it's what got the ball rolling this
what
year.
people don't understand is you called me and told me you were going to have a 40-pound bag and that your dad was going to film it, and that the way they were set up, you were like, you should jump in that tournament. You'll finish second.
Yeah.
But the way you said it wasn't like cocky.
I mean,
but I'll tell you what, at like 11, I told Juice, I said, we need to buckle the hell down and catch 2 more 9s because I don't want to lose with 25.5 pounds on 3 and a 10-pounder.
Y'all had the right.
But it was impressive. I mean, I don't think you could. I mean, dude, I weighed in a 39-pound bag this year with Upshaw. And I remember like looking at that bag and being like, another 5 pounds. Wow.
Yeah. That whole day was incredible, and I had went out there the week before, like 6 or 7 days before.
Could have done even a bigger one.
No, they were set up differently. We had that big cold snap, and it kind of moved them around a little bit, and I don't know if it kind of resets them. And that's how I got. I think that's the first time that I've had every single fish I threw at least attempt to bite my stuff.
The thing about Arbuckle I like is everyone knows there's giants in it.
Yep.
It's not a secret that there's giants in it. They've been catching 40 racks out of there since before the Alabama rig in 2011.
Yeah.
But it gets right about once every 3 years.
Yeah, it does.
And you'll get all the Texas guys that come up and all the Arkansas and all the Missouri guys that'll come over and they'll hear about it like that.
Yeah.
And that is the most fickle, pain in the ass lake to fish that has some of the biggest fish in the state and the most ghostly fish in the state.
Absolutely.
And you'll tell like there'll be 150 boats in the parking lot for a week, then there'll be 80 the next week, then there'll be 30 the next week, and then a month after the craziness went down, it'll be back to 4.
Yep.
That lake protects itself better than any 3,500 acre lake in the world.
And I'll tell you what, one thing that I do, whenever that goes on, whenever it's on fire, I'll go there once, maybe twice. Whenever it gets to where there's 4 boats in the parking lot and nobody can catch a bass, that's when I go out there.
Yeah.
And I try and go figure it out because I feel like that's the type of stuff.
Yeah. Like I said, it's good for maybe 2 weeks every 3. When I say good, I mean literally world class.
Oh,
2 weeks every 3 years when you have like 5 conditions that align.
Oh, yeah.
And that happened this past year.
That happened this past year.
I felt bad for the kids that had 32
35.
or 35 with another 10.
Yeah.
And they had third big bass.
They had third big bass.
And second.
Yeah. Yeah. That was an incredible tournament just to kick off the year. And I kind of got it like a different vibe, after like the start of that tournament. Like I was like, this year's going to be different. And it was. Yeah.
Where can people watch your stuff, where they can follow you, your journey? I think there's a lot of people that are going to want to see 2 dogs, Cheyenne, your daughter at a fifth wheel.
we might have to do that. It's going to be quite the year. And you can Austin Cranford Fishing on YouTube. I've got a ton of videos on there. There's a lot, anything that you want. I mean, there's live scoping videos, there's tournament videos, there's bush flipping videos, there's frog fishing videos. There's a big variety on there. And then Austin Cranford Fishing on Instagram, Facebook, and I've dabbled in TikTok a little bit, but I'm kind of
Court got me. I've got a Bass Talk Live TikTok. I have it on my phone. I haven't opened it yet.
Yeah,
I'm scared of it. I'm scared of TikTok. I don't know why.
I think Trump's got me worried about TikTok.
Well, I'm 40. I don't feel like I have any business being.
I don't know. I mean, I put a video on there and it got, the one of me falling in at Leech.
Yeah.
And it got a ton of views. And
really?
so I might kind of dabble in it a little bit more this year.
Just like Cheyenne's kind of helping you. Court's she's maybe take a little bit over.
You need a little bit of woman in your life. Yeah, it's good for you too, Matt. So
Yeah,
she's done good for me.
Help with some of the back end and front end stuff too. So as I said, the drinking game. Apparently, I still play with the. It's only been like a month, bro. I still play with the ring a lot.
Yeah, it'll go away.
It will.
You'll get used to it. Once you get hot and sweaty and it kind of like sticks and like forms to your finger, you don't play with it as much. Or at least I don't notice.
Oh, so you don't ever take yours off?
No, I haven't taken. I broke 2 just from fishing. And this is my 3rd one, but you just slap one on. And once they get hot and they start sweating, they don't bother you anymore.
Yeah.
So,
he's not kidding. Arbuckle does legit. I've zeroed more on Arbuckle than any other lake in Oklahoma.
Yeah, it's tough. It's got smallmouth in it too.
Yeah, Frank Scalish Jr. Thanks for bringing that up. All right, there's 2 days left to vote for this. The Best on Tour Awards, the best podcast category has been narrowed down to 3: BTL, Mercer, and Bass After Dark. I don't call on the BTL listeners very often for favors, unless it typically has to do with St. Jude. I'm calling on a favor right now. I know it is a pain in the butt to actually go vote and go do it, and you have every intention in the world of doing it. We need all your votes. Like, I think it's pretty close, and I would really like to have that award to share with the BTL listeners.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Best on Tour is associated with BTL, and it would be embarrassing as hell to lose to Mercer. Best on Tour. But Mercer has an entire country, 500,000 viewers, and a hell of a product over there with Mercer.
There's no reason you shouldn't win this thing.
But I also will not be embarrassed if I lose, because between Bass After Dark and Dave Mercer, those are 2 high-quality podcasts that I listen to, and I'm friends with those guys. But in a friendly competition, I want to beat the hell out of both of them.
Yeah, so vote for Pedro.
Yeah, so go to bestontour.net and then click on the Best on Tour Awards. Also have the link in the description for this show. That closes on the 24th. For those of you who have voted, I greatly appreciate it. And if we win, we will celebrate with 3 $50 gift cards to lurenet.com on day 4 with Frank Scalish the first week of December after we're back from the BOT Awards.
Vote for Pedro.
Austin Cranford, thank you for jumping in the truck and heading to Shawnee, Oklahoma. Can't thank you enough. I know you got a lot of guys around Oklahoma that are rooting for you. There's also a whole group that probably just laughed and shook their head and went, Austin. You know what I mean? You were just all over the map not that long ago, and it's been really cool to watch you. I think you deserve to be where you are. You've put in the time and the effort. You're proof that hard work, a good game plan, skill, and dedication and belief in yourself. I posted something about that. It can still happen. It's not, you didn't come up through the college thing, not a trust fund kid, which I have nothing against all that, but there's a whole bunch of negativity towards the rookie class that comes up when you watch them over the last years. You've grinded, you've worked your ass off, you're a hell of an angler, and all of us in Oklahoma are really proud to watch you have grown and become one of the top 100 in the world. So
I appreciate that, Matt.
Catch their ass next year.
Oh, I will.
Catch their ass next year.
Yeah.
All right, this has been another edition of BTL Bass Talk Live. No show tomorrow. We will be back Monday. Now, Monday's a good show because Black Friday's coming up, and Dave Rush has all of the Black Friday deals, terminal tackle, on the water, off the water, all of the stuff that you can get your hands on for Black Friday. Dave Rush will be on Monday. Then Tuesday night, CTL episode 2 drops. The in-studio show. We had a really good episode this last week, 30 over 175. Have you seen that yet? The CTL, what did you think of that?
I think it's the little missing piece that you've been missing, and because I know you're ate up with the crappie.
Yeah.
And I think you're the right man for the job.
I hope so. So go check that out. This actually goes in conjunction with the video that dropped this past Tuesday, Hunting Easter Eggs episode 2. So this is like kind of episode 2B. And then I'm headed to Illinois to eat some turkey for Thanksgiving. So follow us on all of his socials. Can't thank you enough for coming down. And here, I'll give you give you a little toast to wrap things up. Congratulations, Bassmaster Elite Series rookie Austin Cranford. We'll talk to everybody on Monday. See ya.